and how to lose and how to choose.
Well, hello. This is Linda Carbonneau from Walking the Life TV show. Now, I know I haven't been around in a while, but I have good reason for that. It's winter, but it's winter's getting gone. Anyway, today I have a guest from, we said Berlin?
Berlin, Vermont, yeah.
Berlin, Vermont. And this is Kelly. Oh my gosh, I forgot your last name already.
Kelly Burke.
There we go. See, I told you I'm not that good.
One of them Burkes from Berlin, yeah.
And I happened to be scrolling through Facebook and saw a video of you singing a Christmas tune,
Yeah,
and I really liked it.
there's a little bit of a story with that. We, Renee, my wife, and I, and our whole family, really, we make Christmas wreaths. It's a little sideline to our dairy business. And during the holiday season, we're busy. I mean, through Thanksgiving, and we ship stuff out basically till December 10th. We're still busy with this wreath thing, and we have my daughter lives up the road from us, and she has 3 kids, so we have 3 grandkids there, pretty much daily, if you will, and they're underfoot, and they're getting stoked for Christmas, and every once in a while, Grammy and Mom would have something to do with bookkeeping or whatever, and it was not working out. So I'd haul them all in the living room and go, okay, it's time for elf practice.
Elf practice?
Elf practice.
Okay.
The song I sang, one of the John Lennon songs there.
Is it Imagine? I think.
No, it was War Is Over. It's a Christmas carol thing.
Oh yeah.
And of course the kids are all into the Rudolph thing. So Herbie, all fall out for elf practice. Well, I'd yell out, it's elf practice, and they come in and we'd practice that song, and they would shake tambourines and make a lot of racket, burn off some gas. And we were supposed to do it for Christmas, and Christmas Day came, and you know how that goes. Everybody's
Yeah, yeah.
it's Christmas, and the kids had to go spend some time with their dad. It's a separated family affair. Well, anyway, we talked about doing just what we did, and I'd forgotten about it. And just before they were about to leave, they're like, "Grampy, we didn't do elf practice." So, and then you saw after that.
Yeah, I thought it was neat. So
It was fun. Yeah,
I liked it, and I said, "Wow, this would be great if I brought him. See if he wants to come to Watkins tonight."
well, that was a really great turn of events for me. I'm working on a musical project that don't involve elves, but
It doesn't involve elves.
no.
Let's talk a little bit about your background with what do you do now, and
Well,
what
basically-
your whole mission is in this.
Oh, my mission. Life's a mission. But, well, Renee and I, my dad, my whole family, really, we have a small dairy farm in Berlin, Vermont there. We milk 25-ish cows, and we sugar a little bit. We make wreaths, as I mentioned. And we have a big garden. Started out just, well, my dad worked for the state, and Mom used to work office jobs and stuff like that. But there was always a cow there, chickens, when I was, a young guy. It was a family farm, a homestead. Homestead is what it was, really. And the homestead really supplemented the income.
Right.
They weren't shipping milk per se, but they'd raise calves. And we had like one cow, and she would raise her calf. We'd give her some grain, and she'd make enough milk to feed the family, our family, and maybe raise another calf. Well, that was good. And then next thing you know, there's 3 cows. Well, when I got out of high school in 1983, it didn't take long to figure out. I graduated in 80, but in 83, my first daughter was born, and all of a sudden, need some cash. So we built a milk room and started shipping milk on 10 or 12 cows, really. It wasn't a very big affair, to a Cabot.
Oh, nice.
And then eventually Cabot got bought and sold by Agrimart Co-op. So 30 some odd years later, we're still getting up twice every day and milking 25 or so cows, and the milk still goes to Agrimart. That's our mainstay there at the farm. I grew up playing music.
What is it that when you're talking about agriculture and things like that that you're concerned about?
Right now, there's some. My big concern is this Act 64 and other things.
What is Act 64? In case
It's
nobody knows?
the Clean Water Act, and
Uh-huh.
you know, if you speak against it, it sounds like you don't care about the environment and you don't care about clean water. Well, that's just not true. I care greatly for the environment and our water. I'm afraid they've pushed it too far and they've gotten right in the scope of you're over the boundaries of practical government at this point in time.
And going back to your music, I see that this is some way of you of talking about that through your music.
Well, I got a couple fans. Yes, I've talked a lot about it.
Mhm.
My barn radio has learned to duck because there's a talk show that I listen to on a local station up there, and they have it's a talk show where you hear both sides and you hear interviews with the various politicians trying to get these laws in place. And whew, yeah, like I say, that radio learned to duck because I kept throwing things at it. It was a nice vent for me. And
Did you ever get to talk on the radio?
No. My
Ah.
dad used to talk on the radio daily. There, he
Mhm.
gave a traffic and road report for WDEV and other stations around. He worked for the state, and he gave out the traffic and road reports there. So he's no stranger to radio or media at all. This is really a first for me.
Well, you know what? I can tell you, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Well, that's good to know because I don't do a lot of things really great.
You know, that's one thing I was going to tell you too that I've absolutely noticed about you too is that you're a great storyteller. Great storyteller.
Yeah.
And looking through these songs, it shows here too. Talking about, let me see, what's the name of the first one?
Oh, the last crop?
Yeah, the last crop. Just looking
Yes.
at that and the words in there, how this is going to, I mean, people are going to hear this and really be able to relate to it.
I really hope that people will hear it and understand where a Vermont farmer's coming from. You know, we love our land. Not real keen on somebody telling me how I can and can't use it. And if nothing else, I hope if they haven't heard of Act 64, there's a song on there. I'm in the process of recording a little project now. It's involved. I'm doing it mostly myself. I get some help once in a while, but it's just me playing to a drum machine, laying down a bass line, 2 guitar parts, singing harmony with myself. Fun.
So, you know, before we go any further, I think it might be great that you play this first song so people can get
The
kind
last
of the
crop
message.
song? Oh,
Yeah, that would be great. Why don't
We'll
we
see if
pull
it's
that
great.
out of your
Hopefully
hat?
it'll be great.
I'm sure it will.
We'll see how it goes. Now they'd be called swamp busters by the FSA man, but digging a few ditches, pulling stones by hand. And now there's windmills on the mountains, solar panel farms. They won't amount to nothing. No. There's nothing in those barns. There's gasoline rainbows in the box store parking lot that seem a bit more toxic than Bessie's old cow plot. It's not those cows and cornfields causing those algae blooms. They'd ought to take a good look out their own dang living rooms. They'd see windmills on their mountains, solar panel farms, corporations take the money. Legislation took our farm. When I hear about corruption, I smell a bureaucrat, the one that yells the loudest, wears the biggest hat. We must have clean water touts, EPA. We're gonna save the planet while there's money to be made. Hey, yeah. Well, if they drive out all the farmers, these mountains won't be green. The last crop will be blacktop, stained in gasoline, oil, antifreeze. This socialist agenda's got this farmer in a rage. Vermont was so much sweeter in its Independent Day. Lost corporate pay. And now there's windmills on our mountains, solar panel firms, corporations take the money. Legislation took our farm. There's nothing in the barn.
That sounded really good.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Did-
This title of this song is White, Red, and Blue. And something's dragging my shoe. Well, I'm a whitewashed redneck farmer. God knows that I'm blue. The way this world's spinning around about got this boy unglued. There's medical plans, this environment scam, and a fabricated media news. Give this old school farm boy a load of voodoo he can't use. Well, I never went to college, did not do well in school. But I can read between the lines of these bureaucratic tools. The liberocrats and their rhino kin, they're merely puppets on a stage. They'll sing and dance, fling mud and prance to the movement of a corporate string. If you don't pay your taxes, son, they'll throw your butt in jail. We won't see senator raising up to pay the bail. No, I don't believe Obama's plan ever cared much for my kind. He just wants to tie both my hands and shove me in a welfare line. They got a gun in my head, they want my bread, they're saying they know better than me. They might be right with that political bite. Look at these pockets bleed. You know, I'd proudly stay with the Minutemen to set this nation free. Give the bankers and the lawyers and their lobbyist employers a dose of don't you tread on me. This corporate world, it troubles me. They buy the laws that suit their needs and build their fortunes on the backs of you and me. That's why a keen eye and a steady arm is all the gun control we should need. We must protect the right to stand and fight, defend this democracy. No, I don't believe Obama's plan ever cared much for my kind. Yeah, he just liked to tie both my hands and shove me in a welfare line. Oh, he just liked to commandeer my land and shove me in a welfare line.
She was getting some awesome shots because I can see.
I would just like to start this song by saying the title is Crunchy in the Country, and for all my crunchy friends, I still love you. This going green makes me see red. It's got the veins sticking out of my neck. They're all in, it's only shoving me out. It's not the type of country living I'm all about. Please take your crunchy from my country. It does not work well for me. I got a neighbor from Harvard and another from Yale. I had to run them from my corn patch. They was out there raising kale. They said we thought we might share your land. Well, I introduced them to the Reverend Norman. Please take your crunchy from my country and scratch up all of your seeds. She was a liberal arts student with her major in dress. She had hemp rope sandals and a tattooed neck. Her all-in started shaking out when the bull in my pasture started rotting about. She got some crunchy in her country and left the farm. Picking burdocks from her dreadlocks. Had a thistle in her flip-flop. My bull, he did not stop. She slid into a cow plop. Oh, the crunchy little monkey got a lesson in the birds and bees. Come on now, Crunchy. Well, I drove my F-150 to that Montpelier town. The folks was wound up, protesting up and down. Some was dressed in orange, well, others in green. But the politician's stare was at the soda machine. They'll put a tax upon the munchies and legalize the green. Ah, they're taxing the crunchies because they know they get the munchies. Something smelling funky, taxing the crunchies. But if they're taxing the crunchies, they can stop taxing me. Well, I had to see the doctor per the Obama plan. He snapped on a rubber finger, said bend over the stand. I said, well, hold on, doc, it's not a two-way street. He said, we'll have to change your diet, everything you eat, but I like my bacon fried. And that's how crunchy should be.
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite
It's
one.
a cute little song.
That was adorable. Yeah, I think that's great. I love all three of those songs. My favorite was Crunchy Munchies.
Yeah.
Especially when you ended with bacon.
Well, we were talking about bacon earlier.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been talking about
Bacon's
bacon for a
so
while.
good, so why wouldn't you talk about it, right? Vermont pork ribs.
But I don't, yeah, that's a good kind of crunch. But the
Yeah.
kind of crunch you were talking about with the girl, I'll take pictures. Let's go with dreadlocks with for walks on her hair.
We've all
This is-
been there. I got another
oh,
one
that would
about
be
a gal running through a
awful.
cornfield, but we won't go there today.
That must be awful.
Yeah. Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to perform these.
I hope you come
Jenny.
back, you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure I-89 is still going to be headed south for a while. So.
That's right. We're livening up the show.
Live in
How much money we defer to something else we can't maintain it now? Take it from
Well,
me.
I'm with Farmer Dave there. Just turn that bad boy to dirt. It'll be cost efficient.
Your car?
No, I-89.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got that all straightened out.
You're the busy person.
She's so good. She really is good.
Okay, I'm ready to rock and roll whenever you are.
You gonna rock back there? Sophie's rocking in the house. Sophie's rocking. She's gonna play rock and roll, Sophie. You rocking, Sophie? She goes like this. She's rocking.
Been a long time.
Well, you know, this has been exciting. The three songs that you sang for us, my gosh, all three of them really are I want to say, clear about what they're trying to say. Definitely clear. But I got to tell you, I love all three of them, but the last one, that's my favorite.
That tickled your fancy.
That did, especially when you talk about bacon.
Bacon and burdocks. It don't get better than
Bacon
that,
and
right?
burdocks, that's right. So how do you, going back to how long you've been playing music and all of that, what is it that that helps you think about how to write these songs? What's some of the things that influence you, I guess?
Well, lyrically, the radio writes them. I got one called Cyber Seizure. We don't have time here today, probably, but or maybe another time. But yeah, I just like to look at current events, see what's going on in the world, and relate it to how it applies to me, how I feel about that. And you know, there's always been a guitar. This little guitar here lives at the old farm kitchen, propped up between a window and the kitchen table. And it bangs and rolls around.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the story? Where'd you get the guitar?
Oh, the guitar. Yeah, well, Renee and I were on sabbatical, haunting the thrift shops, looking for a very specific small couch we used to live in a 1961 Richardson mobile home. Everything was small. It was 10 feet wide, 45 feet long. I think everything had to be small, puny. And we were given a nice couch, couldn't get it in without tearing the wall down first. And I'm like, that's a little extreme. You know, they catch on fire, you got to get them out.
Yeah.
Things happen, whatever. You want to get this thing out, you don't want to tear a wall down, do it. So anyway, we're looking for a couch. And we hit the thrift store, and Renee's over being a responsible shopper, sticking to task. And me, I'm being a little drifty. What's over here? And all of a sudden, there it was. It looked like it should be a clock or something. But it had strings on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked it up. I start playing, you know. And these strings, like when I bought the guitar, I went home and got a tetanus shot. They were all rusty and stuff.
You don't get the tetanus shot.
Yeah. But anyway, there's something about this flat nasal tone. It's just my bud. It just sounds like me. We got a lot in common. We're both kind of cracked, but we're functional. You know.
Yeah, I had a guest once that came from Texas, and that's what he told me. He had his guitar for years and years and years. But that was his guitar, and that's what he wanted to play. And he didn't want no new ones. He just wanted that.
I got a bit of a guitar thing. It's a thing. I got guitars, but
So you got more guitars.
I got guitars.
You got lots of guitars.
I got guitars.
You collect guitars?
I acquire guitars.
Oh, okay.
And I must look needy too, because sometimes people give them to me.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea of saying, well, we want to hear you play more, so here.
Sometimes just I don't know if they really want to hear me play more. Maybe they're sick of hearing somebody else playing. That might could be or something. I don't know. Whatever. I got
Well,
guitars.
even though I'm not musically inclined, I can
Your
say
dad
that.
was, you said,
Yeah. Well, he was a drummer, but I mean, I'm pretty good at saying, what I think as far as a voice or, a sound. I'm really good at that.
yeah.
And your sound is just, I love it. And not only
You
that,
may want to have your hearing checked.
No, now if you heard me sing, then you'd have to have your hearing checked if you
I
thought that
probably
was good.
should.
But I also like to tell people too that I dance.
Do dance.
I do dance.
That's
I
why I
love
play.
to dance.
I got 3 left feet.
Yeah, and I mean your songs are just like I could see myself going out there and boogieing to that.
Well, there's a
you know?
difference between tapping your toe to rhythm and dancing.
That's right, there is. Yes.
I mean, you know, with me, everything looks like the East Orange Stomp. Even if it's.
That's my husband. That's what he dances like. He don't like to dance. I really have to pull teeth.
You got 2 dances, fast kind and slow kind.
I like to fast dance. Yeah.
I do like the jitterbug. I will say.
Yeah, that's what I like too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely that type of music. It's just
Of
great.
course, I could probably manage an actual waltz, maybe.
Yeah. That's more Ted's things than natural waltz. He's not a boogier. I like to call myself a boogier, I
Well,
guess.
okay.
But I just, I want to, I mean, I just think this is awesome. I think your sound's awesome. And I think the music's
Well,
awesome. The
awesome's-
lyrics are awesome.
Awesome is very generous, but I
Yeah,
do have
no.
fun with my music. I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's a family tradition. Everybody in my family on both sides really played. On my mom's side, they never really. Well, my mom used to play keyboards in church. She's the only one of the whole outfit that could actually read music. My dad worked his way through college playing a tenor sax, so I grew up with that early on.
So
I
you
mean,
got
I
it.
remember I was a little guy when the Beatles hit the Ed Sullivan Show. There's a picture of me and my older sister twisting to Twist and Shout on the Ed Sullivan Show. So music's always been a huge part of my life. Yeah.
Well, as far as listening to music, it has in ours too, but none of us girls, my mother had 5 girls, none of us could sing a tune. So we used to put the record on, I think it was Stop in the Name of Love and We Are Family. We'd put it on, we'd have our little hairbrushes, but we wouldn't sing. We'd dance to it. We'd have our little hairbrush. We'd be dancing along though. Yeah, it was fun, And I think it's great. And I think, when people hear music and they can tap their toes and they can dance,
Absolutely.
makes it more fun.
That's when life beats me up the most, I just crawl right in my music.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, no matter what, there's that. And unless you're real sour, you're going to find, once you start getting that toe tap going and some rhythm.
I know.
And if you can take what they're throwing at you and throw it right back at them with a little funny on it, well, maybe that makes it okay.
It does for sure,
Yeah.
And I want to know, because I know for sure, I just know my audience, that they would love to have you come back and sing more of this and maybe bring some new stuff and some fun stuff. So you come down and do an hour's worth of show with us and entertain us and talk about
Someday
politics.
when I feel like an hour strong, I'll make the hour trip.
Takes an hour to get down here.
That's a fast ride, even for me.
Yeah. Or you want to come down next week. In other words, you wouldn't want to come back next week.
Oh, actually, I got this little project I'm on now. It's basically a little 6-song collection. They're all, the songs on the little project are relevant to current affairs and local current affairs mostly, with the
Yep.
exception of cyber seizure, which drags in our U.S. election, but we won't go there today.
What's
And,
election time?
It is election time. Like it or not, there it is, wham, and you got to make a decision, right? And you got to vote.
Yeah. You always got to vote.
You don't
And
have to
the
vote.
guitar even said that.
The guitar's old enough.
Right. Well, that's right, but the people who are
Maybe I
younger
should make
now.
like them lobbyists there and then save my guitars to people and they can vote.
Yeah,
That's how they get by.
you could go play at the elections.
Think that would work?
Outside.
My
I've
white,
s-
red, and blue might work for Trump.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely for Trump.
Sell it. Can I sell it to him?
Yeah.
Not to make a pitch or anything.
And being somebody that's been a big advocate for people in my life, I can totally see this as advocating for change. Advocating for change. So
Well,
basically it's
stop
about,
there a little bit. Actually, I'm advocating just to keep the darn thing the way it was.
yeah, yeah. So
But the more
advocating,
things
well, not
change, the
change,
more I
okay,
want
so
them the way they
well,
were.
keeping the way they are, yeah.
I
Well, you
mean,
still, you
I
gotta,
know life has
but
to
if
go
they're
forward.
already saying they're changing this stuff, then you gotta change it back, right? You need to work on advocating for changing it.
I just want to get up tomorrow morning and do what I've done all my life. And the politicians used to come to our farm and pat us on the back saying, "You're doing such a good job. We love what you're doing." And now from what they're saying, I'm like, gosh, the way you're sounding, I must be some sort of hardened criminal for doing the same thing I've been doing right along for 30, 40 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, people don't see they don't see what, how different each politician does things. And, this is what I think is important too, because if they only knew, yes, it's great for the politicians to talk about what they're going to change or what different strategies they're going to do, but there's a whole list of them. And they're only talking about the things that are positive that they're going to be doing.
You can almost guess what's really going to get done. All you got to do is think about the money.
Yep.
Where's the big money going to land? And you can tell if it's going to land left or right most of the time.
For sure.
If it involves fossil fuels, it's probably headed to the right. If it involves alternative energy or technology, it's probably headed left. Seems to be the case.
Yep.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. No, like I said in one of my songs there, they're just, to me, the politicians, they really just seem like little puppets out there. One corporation yanks a string up here and the left leg goes up.
Yep.
And they know.
That's where all the money's coming from, of course.
They know.
Yep.
They work the system very well. I often wonder if we vote people into office, we think, and not that I think everybody should vote. I'm very adamant about that.
Yes.
But it makes you wonder sometimes, why do we vote? Because it seems like they go there to Washington and forget.
Yeah, exactly. They do exactly sometimes they do exactly what they say they're not going to do. Sometimes.
Yeah,
happens.
I think quite often, or they just get educated when they get there, I think is what happens.
Yeah.
They start out in little bug tussle USA with great intentions, and they go there and get educated.
Mhm. And that's so true. I mean, I've had friends that have, wanted to be House representatives, and they go there and find out what it's all about, and it's like, this is not what I wanted to really get across, So it's not about what you want
Well,
to do.
Of course, as we all know, life is a compromise, no matter what. You got to compromise. And
sure.
when you're getting the slack end of the compromise, it's easy to be have a little bitter there, but
I want to ask you too. Is that I mean, if people are interested in finding out more about you and about your songs, because you were talking about what you were going to be doing, is there any way that they can either get a hold of you or go somewhere to watch your videos?
I have an address.
Okay. Hey, you can write letters. Woo! What a thought.
You're looking at old school, folks.
That's a good one. Write a letter.
My baby wrote me a letter. Yeah. No, for right now, I don't have an email address. I'm pretty much a Facebook face surfer. You got couch surfers. Well,
Yeah,
I'm a
there you
Facebook
go.
surfer.
So how could they
My
find-
brother does stuff for me. The wife does
So
stuff
do
for
they
me.
just put it under your name to find you on Facebook? Is that what they do?
I don't have one.
So you'd have to go to.
And the best thing to do is just.
I got an idea. Hey, when you see this Walking Through Life show, because I'm going to put it up
I'll get that
on my
information to
Facebook,
you.
my Walking Through Life page, and all that, then you can comment there underneath there. Leave a comment, and we'll make sure he can see it.
I
See?
will. I hope to have a manufactured CD out soon. It's not at this point in time.
But when you do, you can come back and let us know more about
I
it.
could do that real
Yeah.
quick. Yeah, and by then I would have the rest of the package. I'll have to break down and get an email account and all like that.
Yeah, I
kind of stuff.
know. I wasn't doing that.
I'm a Vermonter. It takes me a minute to get there. When I do, you can't get me off it. But until I get there, it ain't there.
It took me so. I was I think 36 before I learned how to use a computer. So it was a while. And then Facebook, forget that. Somebody down the
I'm
road.
pretty sure I was 50-something before I even attempted it.
Somebody down the road told me about Facebook, and that was only like
Is that one of them
years
porn
ago.
sites or what?
You could Facebook me, he says. What's Facebook?
Right?
Yeah, so we all figure it out sooner or later anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that people know that you will be coming back, and this show here will
This has
be
been a
up.
great opportunity for
on
me.
Facebook,
I would
Vimeo.
love to come back again for certain.
Yeah. We'd
In
love to have
between
you back.
chores and hand and whatnot. I
Yeah.
get pretty busy.
I know. So
But usually I can find some time, especially
Yeah.
if I got something really cool I want to get out there.
yeah, and that's the thing is when you've got something that you want to bring,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
let
be
me
jacked
know.
up about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to play this for you.
that'll be
Right,
exciting.
right.
Because I'd love to have you back anytime.
Well,
Really
thank
good.
you for that.
You've
That's
been an
awesome.
awesome guest. You got awesome music. And, I really do want to say thank you very much to you for doing this for me today. And I know Sophie kind of talked to you, doing a fourth song to go out with. But first, I want to say thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for letting me have the chance.
Yeah, can't wait for you to come
So
back.
we're just walking out the song? Is that
That's
what we're doing?
it. You're doing it.
All right. I'm hitched.
Oh, you
There's
can't
no
walk
walking
out.
here.
You can't walk out. You just have to sing out.
Dump the mic, is that what we do? Or just
No,
sing
you
out?
just sing out.
All right, we're doing the fade out. Looking back in time, I remember my life before I met you. I was one of the boys making noise and singing the blues out every evening into the dawn's early light. Put new feelings into my heart, into my life. I needed to meet you. I still need you that way. So come on now, be strong now. I mean it, my darling. I don't want to lose you. What I'm needing is the sweet love you're breathing. So stay here beside me, it's true. So true. I needed someone like you. Looking back in time, I remember the first time I saw you. You appeared to me through a crystal blue sky. It's where our eyes met. You took me in, but I took you home. We started raising up this family we call our home. Now we're together every day. What I'm needing is the sweet love you're breathing. So stay here beside me. Well, come on now, be strong now. I mean it, my darling. I don't want to lose you. It's true, so true. I need me someone like you.
Hey, you wave bye-bye. That's your camera over there.
Oh,
This is
bye.
mine. Bye. Bye.
Walking through this life of mine, well, it's teaching me so many things, like how to love and how